and it was just throughout the whole of my cousin's neighborhood. And I feel like you could kind of see the fumes in the air. I came outside, I said, "Mommy, what is that?" And she goes, "Oh, someone's just burning their pads." Like, she just knew, like, it's a thing. Like, "Oh, what's that buzzing? It's a wasp. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a bird. What's that smell? It's someone burning their pads." Because I'm not trying to have a struggle 2024. She's not, I'm not. I'm not trying to have a struggle 2024. You feel me? Okay.
I prefer if I have my money, I buy dress, I buy my jacket. I don't like send my money to buy food. No.
So you're saying you'd rather wear clothes than eat?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mental Moodboard Podcast. I am your host, Lapoze, and welcome to the podcast where we divulge into the mood board of my mind. How are we all doing? I hope you're doing well this week. I hope you're feeling blessed and highly favored and flavored. Hallelujah. This is what we have today. We're back with the barefoot pink Moscato again. I love this. It's like drinking juice. It's so sweet. But that's when it can get you licked. Licky. You'll be licked because it is just so sweet. And look, the bottle is not nearly finished. We've got a semi-full bottle. How are we all doing? Hi, everyone who's listening via audio. I have made such a gorgeous shirt. I have to show you. It's a puffy sleeve shirt. I'm so proud of myself. So I made this out of an old men's shirt. I've always had this creative thought in my mind of how can I reinvent a men's shirt but make it what I want. I mean, I've seen other people do it. I've seen people make corsets out of men's shirts. Make a men's shirt that's like got a drawstring pulley thingy, so it still looks like a men's shirt, but it's more feminine. But I wanted, like, my wheels were turning in my mind, and I was like, how can I make a men's shirt look very Lapoze-esque? Like, what would make me want to wear a men's shirt? And I thought about my favorite periods in time, the Victorian era, even before then, like the French era of when they were wearing powdered wigs and whatever. Just everything was just elegant and big. And so I made this gorgeous shirt, and I'm just going to stand up and show you what it looks like. And the back, can I show ass on YouTube? Let me show you the back. The girl, no, behave. Come on, mannequin. Anyway, the back has got like a lace-up detail, and you can tie it into a bow. And I'm just, this is exactly what I would wear. If I didn't make this, I would want to make this. Do you understand? And those are the type of clothes I want to make, or I do make. If it doesn't exist, or if I saw it in a store, would I buy it, and would I be excited to buy it? I would be over the moon if I found something like this in a thrift store or in a retail store. Yeah, but how are we doing? So last week's podcast was just an audio podcast. I did it from my bed because I was in pain. Mama period. She doesn't play at all. Okay? She's not kind. Another sip for luck. I bet you once I've got to 100 episodes, there's probably going to be like a compilation of Lapoze moans whilst drinking rosé. I hope I reach that level. But yes, I've been creating a lot this week. I'm trying to get rid of all of the bags within my studio. I've got a ton of materials to work with that I just want to work with. And I'm coming to you today with a positive outlook on Lapoze The Brand and just my outlook on my business. Of course, we're still out there job hunting, but in the meantime, I'm not putting as much pressure on myself to go out there and get sales. And I'm finding that when I do that, I'm more happy when sales come to me organically. And I'm more so focusing on the creation and creating right now and less on the business. And what has taken me there, or what has brought me peace, is going and focusing on my spiritual life. I was watching a live by Candice Brathwaite, or Brathwaite. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I've actually been following her for years. I started following her when I was in college, around like 2011. I loved her on Twitter. And then she had like a SoundCloud podcast with her friend Danielle. And me and my mum would listen to it every Sunday. I think they uploaded every Sunday. It was so tiny. But from those different clips of her being on social media, I knew she would be someone. She just had this personality from day dot. But anyway, I was I was watching one of her lives, and she basically said something really poignant. She said, neglect your spiritual life and pay the price.
Oh.
And it sat with me. I have neglected my spiritual life on and off for a couple of years now. I'd say probably 10 years if we're being correct. If we're being anatomically correct. The anatomy is correct. I've neglected my spiritual life like on and off for 10 years now. I mean, I talk to God, but then there would be these moments where I would be telling him off, like, why is my life so shit? Like, real talk, I talk to God like how I'm talking to you now. I'd be like, why is my life so shit? Like, I try. What have I done? I haven't killed anyone. Like, bless me. Send good things. Why is there always one thing after the other? And when she said to me, when she said in that live, neglect your spiritual life and pay the price, I've been paying the price for neglecting my spiritual life in my emotional outbursts, or like my I've been crying a lot as I've gotten older, and I think it's because I don't have that safety net, or that spiritual guard of, okay, things are going wrong, I can at least talk to God, I can pray, I can talk to spirit, universe, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. I haven't had that spiritual connect, so I've been paying the price for that within, the physical realm, by me being selfish. I have to admit, I'm very selfish. I won't say what in, but I've been extremely selfish. I have been crying a lot. I've been having bad days a lot. And people, my little brother, he's so funny. He refers to me as the fairy of the family, because I've always had this like positive outlook on life, and I've always been the kind one. Take that how you will. I try, okay? All I can do is try. But he's called me the fairy. And right now I'm giving pixie vibes. I'm giving evil pixie. I must admit, it's giving evil pixie. And I don't want to neglect my spiritual life and become a disgusting person. But also it goes into my business. Me neglecting my spiritual life has also affected my business. I am my business essentially. I'm the only employee. So the peace that I found this week in just creating has come from me realizing that I need to talk to God more. I need to pray more. I need to commune with myself more. Like when people talk about, I'm having a self-care day, that shouldn't just be, I've always referred to self-care days as MOT. Now, when you're having an MOT, you're literally you need to go inside the car and check what's going on, and then wash the car and then do whatever. So I need to take my self-care days, or have safe self-care days, because I don't, and have a spiritual MOT. Connect with myself. How are you doing, Lapoze? How does this make you feel? And there needs to be more importance put into me writing down my thoughts, and not just thinking them and holding them inside, or forgetting about the thought that I had, because some of the thoughts I think are really interesting. Even I think to myself, I hope that I can remember that so I can apply it to this. And my phone is just full of notes. And I've actually dished out one of my diaries. It was a dream diary that I had years ago. It's really pretty. I've dished it out so that I can write down my thoughts, commune with myself, commune with God, and try to be a better person for others, but most importantly myself, and most importantly Lapoze the brand. So that's the epiphany I've had towards the end of the year, and I'm so glad I've had it towards the end of this year, because I'm not trying to have a struggle 2024. I'm not. I'm not trying to have a struggle 2024. You feel me? Okay. So I'm so glad that I've had the epiphany right now. Cheers. Cheers to Tiffany, Epiphany, and her sister Christine. Cheers. All of them. Cheers to all of them. So in the last podcast, last week, I was talking about period blood for rituals. Thank you. I've been practicing my evil laugh for years. Legitimately, I've been practicing my evil laugh for years. Practicing. I was talking about period blood. Do you know, I just realized, I just tapped this, sorry. I forgot to do an ASMR of the rosé. Oh no, we tapping the label, sorry. That's become like a thing now, and I totally forgot to do that. Excuse me, excuse her. She's sorry, she apologizes. But let's go back. Okay, let's rewind. I was talking about what are we talking about? Girl, we were talking about something. What was I talking about? I was talking about the whole, using women's period blood for rituals and things like that, which is why my mom said that I had to burn my pads when I was on my period in Zambia. But also, this is another story coming off of that. So in my cousin's neighborhood, because we were staying at my cousin's house, I smelled like smoke, but it was like, not like, when you're like burning wood, it's like a nice barbecue-y smell and it's nice. This smelled like burning plastic, and it was just throughout the whole of my cousin's neighborhood, and I feel like you could kind of see the fumes in the air. I came outside, I said, "Mommy, what is that?" And she goes, "Oh, someone's just burning their pads." Like, she just knew, like, it's a thing. Like, "Oh, what's that buzzing? It's a wasp. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a bird. What's that smell? It's someone burning their pads." So it's a serious thing. It's a legitimate thing that women do. They know, I'm on my period. I want to be safe spiritually. Let me burn my pads, baby girl. And that shooketh me. How old was I when I went back to Zambia? I just finished 3rd year. Let's count together. So 19, 20. I was 21. Oh my gosh, I was such a baby. Baby Lapoze. I think I was 21 or 22. Yeah, well, I counted. So, 21. But anyway, I wanted to divulge more into African superstitions. And when I posted this, I posted a poll on my Instagram about if people would like me to divulge further into African superstitions. But most importantly, superstitions I learned from my mum, who's a Zambian woman. And people were like, yes. And then my older cousin was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And I think it's because we were raised with these folk stories, these superstitions from when we were young. And we truly believe that they are real. And so she was like, don't do it, please. She voted, nope, don't tell us. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Hi, baby girl, I'm going to tell you. So I've written a list here just so I don't forget. But the first superstition that has stayed with me, and I'm 29 now, is whistling at night. That is one thing that my mum was, totally against. And I remember the day I learned it, actually. When was this? This was like 2001. We were at my auntie's house. I think it was like around the summer holidays. And we were listening to Ja Rule, like the Ja Rule's album. Wow, I've got a good memory. We were listening to Ja Rule's album. And I was whistling to one of his songs because I just really liked it. So I was like, right now I'm whistling at night. I was whistling to it because it was in my head, and my dad, to this day, my dad loves Ja Rule. But anyway, and then my mum goes, oh, I think it was my mum or my auntie or both of them were like, don't whistle at night. And I was like, why? And they were like, that's how you call witches. I said, my God, let's not call them. In fact, I rebuke the invitation. I was like, what? I was like, Mommy, why is it bad to whistle at night? She's like, oh, that's how you call witches, so don't whistle at night. And it scared the fudge out of me. So when I went from when I finished I think I started praying in my head. I was like, oh God, please, no. I rebuke any witches in the name of Jesus. Like, imagine like a cute 6-7-year-old Lapoze just praying like, no, I don't want it. So, pardon me. So, that was one of the superstitions. Another superstition that we have, which I don't know if this is a British superstition or if it's African, but my mum would always tell me, if there's a spider, if you find a spider in the bathroom, you're going to have a visitor. And even to this day, this thing still applies. It's so weird. Every time there was a spider, even like a tiny spider in the bathroom, there'd be a visitor coming in. It's so weird. And I don't know if it's my mom or my auntie who told me that. You know, matriarchal figures, you get confused. But I think I was scared and I was like, there's a spider in the bathroom, Mommy, can you get it? And she was like, oh, that just means a visitor's coming. And I was like, oh, okay, but can you get it? That's another thing. You cannot be scared of insects in front of African parents. Oh my gosh. If you want to go back to Africa, you cannot be scared of insects. But I'm scared of insects in England. It doesn't apply. It's fine, okay? Diaspora and them things there, all right? It's cool. It's fine. Another superstition, I feel like this is more so a practice than superstition, is the tying of a kitchen towel. This also applies. This is also in the realm of visitors. So if you didn't want a visitor to come, you would tie a kitchen towel into a knot and you would talk over it and be like, you will not come, you will not come, you will not come. And I'd catch my mum doing this and I'd be like, oh, Mommy, why are you doing that? And she'd be like, oh, it's just something we do. And I feel like as African people, we've been shamed from our traditional spiritual practices, because obviously colonialism and Christianity being what we've known for years, for hundreds of years. And there's no shame in believing in God. If God is all I've known my whole life. Okay, so I still pray to God. But there's this demonization that even though it's still in us to follow our spiritual practices, and what I've noticed is these spiritual practices still agree with us, because when we practice them, things happen, things come to fruition. So we've been demonized, more so in our own community. People view religions that our ancestors did years ago as demonic. Oh, they were stupid, they were dumb, thank God for the white man. That's not what they say, but that's basically how it comes out, as if you're completely stupid. And I feel, let people practice what they want, let people believe in what they believe in, but do not think you are righteous or right in believing in what you believe. And I get it. I've said it before. We judge for protection. Judgment is also a human instinct to protect ourselves. We see a guy, give you an example, white man, bald head, tattoos, piercings. We say, oh, be careful. He's going to kidnap me. But he could be the sweetest, kindest guy ever who just likes the way he looks. But of course, judgment is for protection. And I feel like it's the same way we can also apply it to Christianity, because you're judging to protect your spiritual life or your future spiritual life in order to gain access into heaven or whatever afterlife you believe in. And so I understand that, but let's stop this self-righteousness of my religion is correct or my religion is right. If you take a look at all the different religions in the world, there's the same message of peace, of love, of light, or how to live your life. It's basically teaching you the same thing. And I have this theory in my head that if you were just to put, basically stack and put all of the world's books, religious books together, that will be the key to life and you will live the most zen life ever. That's what I think. I don't know, but I just feel like there should be less judgment in people that practice traditional African religions, people who practice Christianity, Islam, people who practice Hinduism, all these different religions. Let there be less judgment, please. It's disgusting. I was watching one of my favorite Congolese shows, Solo La Bien, and it's basically like a Congolese panel show where Congolese people from the diaspora within England come together, speak in Lingala, French and English, and discuss politics or discuss things within the Congolese community or within, the diaspora. And they were talking about basically talking about Christianity and, pastors within the church. But there was this, what's his name? What is he called? Sorry, I've had a mind fart. There was a panelist. There we go. English. Excuse me. I deserve a sip for that. The English was found. There was this panelist that I kind of agreed with, and I liked his take. His name was Congo Boy, and everyone on the panelist was a Christian or Catholic or believed in some form of Christianity, and he took the stance of, no, I'm not a Christian. I do not believe in Christianity because it's basically a religion that was given to us through colonialism to control us. It's not something that is traditional to us. I believe he basically practices ancestral magic, which I was like, wow, okay, I agree with that. He also said some things about him being God and him worshipping himself, which I kind of think was misconstrued. I think basically he's saying that I interpreted it as God lives within us, so we have a piece of God within us, which makes us a bit divine, but maybe through the language, because I think he was mixing French and Lingala, things were misconstrued and misunderstood by the panelists. But going back to ancestral magic, that is something that my mom, who's a heavy Christian woman, strong, she still talks to her ancestors. She'll be talking to her mom, she'll be talking to her ancestors that came before, my granny, and she will just ask for help or for guidance. And I feel like, why don't we do that? Why don't we spiritually connect with those who were here before us? We're not worshipping them. Even if you worship them, that's fine. But we're asking for guidance. We're asking for help because they have lived and now they're living in another realm and seeing how we are living. And I know to some people this may be a bit too woo-woo and whatever, but guess what? You're gonna be mind blown. This is my podcast. Oh, revolutionary. This is my podcast. So I will speak about what? Say it with me. The mental mood board of my mind. You got it. So I would like whenever my mom would praying, she'd be combining Christianity, but then I'd also be hearing her speaking in Ndebele and talking to her ancestors. And my mom, she's like a polyglot. She speaks so many different languages, so she'll be infusing in Ndebele, Nyanja, Zulu, all these different languages, talking to her ancestors, praying to them, talking to them, asking for guidance, asking for help. And if you were to ask her if she believes in any of these African spiritual practices, she'll say, it's demonic. I don't believe in that. It's demonic. But ma'am, you're practicing. There's a lot of things that we do within, I'm going to speak specifically to African Christians within the Pentecostal church. There's a lot of things that we do, a lot of worship that we do. It's reminiscent of our ancestors and how they used to worship their gods and practice their religion. The whole feeling the spirit, getting enchanted, being filled with the Holy Ghost. If you watch and look at people who practice voodoo when they're in the graveyard and conjuring spirits, it's the same feeling. You jump out your spirit, you're moving, you're dancing, you're being touched by the Holy Ghost. You do not see that within white Christian churches. They may have adopted it from seeing us because they adopt a lot of things that they see from us. That's another topic. But it's something in us. It's DNA. It's us. It's a natural thing to us. C'est naturel, to worship that kind of way. We're very larger than life. African people, Black people within the diaspora, it's just something in our DNA. Whereas I feel like European people are way more reserved. I mean, if you look at the Catholic Church, I'm so sorry, I love you Catholics, but your hymns are boring. Why are your hymns so boring? I feel like going to sleep. There was a man last week. Whereas when you go to church, Pentecostal churches, yes, they're 10 hours long, and I'm not exaggerating, 10 hours long, but at least you're getting entertained. Hungry, belly hungry, but you're getting entertained. But yeah, I just wanted to discuss that. Oh, let me finish this conversation off. I know it's a bit controversial. Anything to do with religion and spirituality is controversial, but I wanted to finish off with a couple more superstitions. Another superstition is basically putting a knife down, like a knife facing down. So I was washing the dishes once, and my mom came in and she saw me put like a butter knife downwards just to be safe. She's like, no. When you wash dishes, you never put the knife down, you put it up. I said, why? She was like, you're killing someone. You're ending something. If you put it down, you're putting a cut to something. Don't do that. And I was like, okay, but it's safer for it to be down than up. Regardless, anyway, to this day, I still put the knife down for safety, because imagine you're hovering over the dishes looking for something and then you go, boom. That's scary. That's scary. I don't want to see that or feel that, Yeah. So it's going down for me. And the last superstition is after you use a cooking stick to make pap, fufu, semoule, whatever you may call it, you have to wash the cooking stick straight away, or else someone will take your blessings from you. And I asked her why, like how does that make sense, stealing blessings from someone from a cooking stick? And she said that when you're cooking with love. You're putting all your love into cooking. That's what my mom taught me anyway. Another motto that my mom told me when I was learning to cook was cook with love. Always cook with love. And so that's something that my little brother and I have passed on to my partners. Whenever they cook for us or anything, we say, oh, did you do it with love? Did you cook with love? Because you actually do taste it in the food. And so she was like, oh, when you're cooking with love. And so someone can steal those blessings away from you because that's such positive energy. So that way they can steal your blessings. I was like, okay, there's some science to this spirituality and these superstitions. There's science. Okay, because new shoes on the table. Sorry, British people, what the fuck did that got to do with bad luck? I'm sorry, new shoes on the table? I asked the what's her name? Lizzie is the one that taught me that what you call it. I think it was Lizzie. I'm sorry, I'm confusing the white women in my life. It was either Lizzie or it was my drama teacher that said that. Yes, never mind. Lizzie perpetuated it. She was like, oh, I got some new shoes, can't put it on the table. But who taught it to me was my drama teacher when we were studying Blood Brothers. And I think within the play, someone put new shoes on the table and someone said, hey, my way, it's bad luck. Do not put the new shoes on the table. And so I guess that's where I learned that superstition. And then Lizzie was like, I got some new shoes, I've ordered to the office, I can't put them on the table. I actually I'm going to do this on the podcast because I need to do it. Lizzie, Zen, I forgive you. I forgive you for the way you treated me. I forgive you for the wounds you inflicted on me wanting to almost end my life. I forgive you for the microaggressions, the macroaggressions. I forgive you all. Oh, also the other CEO guy, I forgive you for when I came into HR and I told you what Zen was doing and you said he's only joking. I forgive you for not taking my, not accusations, what you call it, my report seriously. I forgive you. How can the CEO of the company also be HR? Anyway, if you want to hear more about Lizzie and Zen, listen to my past podcast episodes. I forgive you. Let me let go of that pain. Let me let go of that hurt. Let me move on so I can receive more blessings. Have you noticed that whenever you give, well, this is just with me anyway, whenever I give money to someone and I don't really have that much, I end up getting the money back and I end up getting more. And it's always within like a couple of days or the next week. Is that the circle of life, God? No, but whenever I give, I always seem to receive. But I guess it's important that you give with love. You give wholeheartedly. Again, with the whole cooking with love thing. Do you know what's really weird? As I've grown older, I no longer get chatted up by men anymore. Oh. And I'm not saying I want it. I'm not saying I need it. You know, I'm a happily soon to be married woman. I'm waiting for the ring, Aaron. I'm in a happy relationship, but a good relationship. Not happy because, you know, happiness comes and goes. I'm in a good relationship. But as I've grown older, I don't know if it's because my style has changed or because I look older, but I'm not getting like approached or chatted up anymore. And I think I've come to the realization I've come to is I do not have like my baby face anymore, or it's decreasing, or I'm looking more like my age. And men are super creepy. They are going to chat up girls, young girls that look like young girls. And they'll be like, oh, excuse me, can I talk to you real quick? And she'll be like, oh, sorry, like I'm only 12, I'm only 13. Really? You look older. You're a fucking liar and you're going to prison, you're going to jail, you're going to hell. I feel like hell has a basement, you are going to hell. Hell's basement. Because what the fuck, the little girl just told you she's 12, 13, sir. You don't even deserve to be called sir. Thing. It. That's what you should be called. Because I was looking back at pictures of me when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And like, I looked the same when I was 21, 22. I looked like I was 16, 17, 18. I had like such a baby face. So even looking back at when I was those ages, I had such a baby face and I had such a tiny body. So I looked 13, 14. And I was just thinking about this one time I was wearing my shorts. I had this really nice, cute two-set piece that I bought from Gap in Canada. Oh, I need to recreate that piece actually. It was so nice. Oh, gosh. I miss that piece. I should definitely make it again. But I had this really nice, cute two-piece coat set. And like, I've always had a big bum. Even when I was skinny and petite, like it was just there. It was just juicy and big and scrumptious. I love you, booty. So I've always had a big bum, even when I was tiny. So there was this grown-ass man. I'm talking like 30, he looked like 31, 32. It came out of his car. I was hanging out with my friends. It was like a Saturday. We would meet at like the station near our school, which was also near my house. And we were meeting up. And yeah, so I was walking and he comes out of his car when he sees me. He's like, excuse me. And I'm like, hi, like, no, sorry, like, I'm only 13, He's like, no, you look older, excuse me, like, let me talk to you. I was like, and then I finally, like, caught up to one of my guy friends, and I was like, can you pretend you're my boyfriend? And we're both young, we're 13, 14. He cannot stand up to this grown-ass man saying, this is my girl. Now that I think about it, I was like, Lapoze, that's a bit stupid, but you just need... Men respect men no matter the age. That's what I feel like. Is if there's a male presence, men will be like, oh, sorry, sir. Sorry for approaching on your property. Anyway, that angers me. Just respect me. I'm a human being. It takes a man to be there to get respect. But anyway, he was like, no, I can't do it. So I was just like, hi, I'm with my boyfriend, like, can you leave me alone? He's like, no, I know that's not your boyfriend, so like, what are you saying? I was just like, I'm legit 13. He was like, oh, okay, sorry, and he backed off. But like, sir, I think he was a drug lord. He was giving drug lord vibes. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're hopping out of a car, and the car was nice too. But like, you are a grown-ass man. Like, I'm having to look up to you, having to say, sorry, I'm 13. You know I'm 13. You're just trying to have a child that you can groom and make your own and make into the woman that you love or like or whatever. And then once she's a woman, you're like, let me kick you out. I want another baby girl. And it's disgusting. And I think that's the reason why I don't get approached anymore. It's because when I walk anywhere, I walk with purpose. I walk like I'm headed somewhere. And I look like my age. And that's the problem. Actually, to be fair, last year I did get approached, but it was so nice, the way he approached me, the gentleman. He was like, excuse me, I really like your dress. And he got me there because it was a dress that I had made. He was like, excuse me, I really like your dress. I was like, okay, thank you. And he was like, I was walking really fast and he was like, oh, sorry, I just wanted to talk to you. And I was just like, sorry, I have to go. And he was like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yes. And he was like, oh, okay, well, have a nice day. I said, yay. That's how you do it. He wasn't good looking, wasn't my type at all. He wasn't bad looking, but he wasn't my type. But just that being civil, that respect will get you far. Look, I'm still talking about him today. I've forgotten what he looks like slightly. But I still remember that interaction because he gave me what? Respect. But yeah, I think that's how we'll end the podcast today. I think so. What do you think? You want to carry on? No, I gotta go, please. Jackie, I gotta go, please. I want to thank you all so much for watching and listening if you're listening via audio. I'm pushing myself to be more consistent on doing the podcast. Listen, I did not want to do this, but I knew I had to. When I say I didn't want to do this, I mean I didn't want to set up. I mean, I love talking. I love chatting my shit. You know, I like to go off. I like to show off things that I've made in the week. Another thing that you saw me wearing in the last episode. I love showing off things like that and talking about my week, talking about things that have been in my mind. But just the setup is grueling because it's within my studio. I've got to push things out of the way to make room for the lights, make room for my table, and to make room for this fat ass, this wagon behind me. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. If you're listening via audio, if you're listening on YouTube, I think I should also be on Apple Podcast because that's where we got the term podcast from. It only makes sense, Lapoze. So yeah, I'm going to do that. But thank you all so much for watching and listening. And remember, a wise, beautiful woman with a wagon once said, remember to bounce that ass. Don't let it bounce you. Bye, guys.